Scattered all across the vast landscape of India, there's this incredible sacred network of 12 ancient shrines. Now, these aren't just temples, they're the Jyotirlingas. Think of them as powerful spiritual centers that together form a kind of divine map of faith, with each one marking a very special appearance of Lord Shiva.
So what exactly is a Jyotirlinga? Well, the word itself means pillar of light, and the origin story is pretty epic. Legend has it that the gods Brahma and Vishnu once came across this column of light that was so immense, so infinite, they couldn't find its beginning or its end. After trying and failing, the pillar cracked open, and out came Lord Shiva in his true, boundless, radiant form. Each of the 12 Jyotirlingas here on Earth is believed to hold a piece of that very same divine, self-manifested light.
But here's the thing. These pillars of light are also rooted in some deeply human stories. Behind every single shrine, there's a legend that connects these huge cosmic events to emotions that we all get. Love, jealousy, devotion, and even conflict. These are the stories that really bring the divine down to our level.
Let's take the very first Jyotirlinga, Somnath. Its story actually explains a natural phenomenon through a myth. It tells of Chandra, the moon god, who was cursed to completely lose his light because he favored one of his wives over all the others. Totally desperate, he prayed to Shiva right at this spot. Now, Shiva couldn't completely reverse the curse, but he softened it, creating the phases of the moon that we see every month. So the temple itself is this powerful symbol of renewal and divine mercy.
Okay, so from a story on a cosmic scale, we're going to zoom right into a family dynamic. This amazing statement from Lord Ganesha really sets the stage for a completely different kind of legend, one about cleverness, devotion, and a parent's unbreakable love. So get this, Ganesha and his brother Kartikeya have a competition. Whoever circles the world first gets to marry first. Kartikeya immediately takes off on his peacock, racing around the globe. But Ganesha, he does something brilliant. He just walks around his parents, Shiva and Parvati, and declares, "You are my world." And with that, he wins. Well, Kartikeya is heartbroken and retreats to a mountain. To comfort their son, his parents follow him and appear nearby as the Mallikarjuna Jyotirlinga, a beautiful, timeless monument to parental love. And don't for a second think these are just ancient myths collecting dust. The Jyotirlingas are living, breathing centers of faith. History and belief are still being actively debated, which just goes to show how alive and relevant these sacred traditions are today. Which brings us to a really fascinating modern-day controversy. While most of the Jyotirlingas have locations that everyone agrees on, the sixth one, Bhima Shankar, well, that's a different story. It's actually claimed by 2 different states, and that sparked a huge debate that mixes ancient scriptures with regional pride. The arguments from both sides are really compelling. So on one hand, you have Maharashtra. Their claim is tied to a historic temple in Pune and a legend where Shiva's sweat from a fierce battle formed the Bhima River. But then you have Assam. They point directly to a key scripture, the Shiva Purana, which mentions a location in the Dakini hills of Kamrup. Their origin story is different too. Both claims have some serious historical and mythological backing. And this isn't just some old academic debate. Listen to this direct quote from Assam's chief minister. He's addressing the controversy head-on, grounding his state's claim in scripture. It just goes to show you how these ancient sacred sites are still evolving and making headlines today. All right, so let's step away from the myths and the debates for a minute and talk about something you can actually see and touch. Because beyond all the stories, the Jyotirlingas are just stunning marvels of art and engineering. The temples themselves are absolute masterpieces, showing centuries of devotion carved right into stone. And the architecture is as diverse as India itself. If you go north to a place like Kashi Vishwanath, you see these majestic, curving spires called shikaras that just seem to reach for the heavens. But then travel south to Ramanathaswamy, and bam, you're greeted by these massive, incredibly ornate gateway towers called gopurams. They're a classic feature of the Dravidian style. Each temple is a totally unique expression of its own regional art and history. What's also just incredible is how these buildings blend in with their natural surroundings. You've got Kedarnath sitting at over 11,000 feet up in the Himalayas, this stark, powerful stone building set against snow-capped peaks. And then you have Somnath, standing strong against the wind and salt of the Arabian Sea. The geography itself becomes part of the whole divine experience. For millions and millions of devotees, visiting these shrines is way more than just a casual trip. It's the ultimate spiritual journey. It's a pilgrimage that connects them to their faith and, really, to the very soul of the country. This journey is called the Dwadasa Jyotirlinga Yatra, which means the 12 Jyotirlinga pilgrimage, and it is an epic undertaking. We're talking about a trip that can take weeks, spanning the entire subcontinent, from the highest mountains down to the sea. It is a profound test of both faith and physical endurance. I mean, just to reach Kedarnath, you have to make a grueling 17-kilometer uphill trek. And so, it all comes back to that number, 12. 12 pillars of light, 12 sacred stories, 12 points on a spiritual compass that has guided people for centuries, with each one representing a totally unique facet of the divine. So when you really think about it, these shrines are so much more than just places to worship. They form a spiritual map of divine energy. They're like living archives of timeless stories. They're vibrant centers of culture and, yes, even controversy. They're architectural masterpieces, and above all, they symbolize this incredible, enduring bond between the heavens and humanity. And that really leaves us with a final thought. As we've seen with the whole Bhimashankar controversy, defining what makes a place sacred can be, well, complicated. So what is it that truly makes a place holy? Is it the words written in an ancient text? Is it the sheer weight of centuries of unbroken tradition? Or maybe is it simply the unwavering faith of the millions of people who find peace there? That's something to think about.